Hello, I'm Donna Smith, and this is Sound Advice. On Sound Advice, I like to cover professional and personal development. Well, today's topic is dealing with your past mistakes. Before you get out that pad and pencil and start writing down your New Year's resolution, you need to deal with your past. It will be very difficult to move forward if you're taking things that have not been dealt with in the past and all of that weight and trying to move forward. So before you do, I want to share with you the 3 L's to help you to deal with your past mistakes. So stay tuned. So today we're going to talk about dealing with your past mistakes. Now, for me, I distinguish mistakes from a bad choice. For me, a mistake is unintentional. For example, if I were to go to the store and the item costs $5 and I gave the cashier $6, and the cashier says, "Oh, you've given $1 too much." Well, that wasn't intentional. That was a mistake. A bad choice is, let's just say I'm looking to buy a house and I can only afford to buy a house that's $300,000, but the house that I found that I really like is $320,000. So if I were to go and buy that house for $320,000, that's a little out of my price range. That's a bad choice. I hear a lot of people make bad choices and they say, "Oh, I just made a mistake." No, it wasn't a mistake. A bad choice is intentional. When you make a bad choice, several decisions have gone in your mind before you make that bad choice. So we need to own up to it. It's not a mistake. A mistake is unintentional. Regardless of whether you made a mistake or a bad choice, they can have negative impact on you. For example, you can make a mistake. Let's say I'm an accountant and I'm making a lot of mistakes. Well, that could cause me a raise, or worst case scenario, I may lose my job. So a mistake can have dreaded outcomes. Here are the 3 L's to help you with dealing with your past. The first is look. I want you to look at your life in the past. What was going on during that period? Isolate that period in your life when you were making those mistakes and or bad choices. Were you not taking care of yourself and so you really weren't thinking clearly? Possibly were a lot of people wanting you to do a lot of things and it's very hard for you to say no, and so you had so much on your plate and things just got overwhelmed and you were making bad choices. Or maybe you weren't listening. Let's say you were an accountant and senior accountants were saying, "This is how you need to do this project," but you said to yourself, "Oh, I'm not going to listen to them. I know what I'm doing." And because you did it your way and you did not listen, you made all of those mistakes. What was going on? You need to think that through and really outline it, because we don't want to be back there again. The second L is learn. What did you learn from it? Maybe you learned, I need to keep my mouth shut. Or maybe you learned, I need to listen to others who know how to do it and they have been doing it. Maybe I need to listen. Whatever the case is, you want to learn it and you want to record it so that you won't be back on that same path again. Now, before I go to the next L, by all means, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do so. And all you have to do is click the little red button that says subscribe. And you can also click the notification bell when you subscribe so that every time I post a show, you will know. Okay, now let's go to the last L, which is launch. Now, before you launch, I want you to make sure you have a firm foundation. You take care and make sure that foundation is firm. And when I say that, you may have to mend some fences before you launch. Were there damaged relationships because of your bad choices or your mistakes? Or maybe you need to go to someone and say, "I'm sorry." I had to do it the other day. I was talking to someone and right in the middle of the conversation, I said, "You know what? I was wrong and I apologize to you. I was wrong and I apologize to you." And I felt so much better after I said that to this person. So maybe you need to go to someone and do the same thing to mend the fences. Or in some instances, if there were money involved or something, you may need to pay restitution. I need to really watch a documentary of Richard Pryor the other day and listening to an interview that he had done with Dick Cavett. And I knew that he had a very colorful life, and he had a life that was filled with a lot of addictions. He's had several marriages, and so I knew that he made bad choices. But now he's at the point of his life where it seemed to me that he looked and he really took inventory of what was going on in his life, and he learned. And now he was at the point where he is moving in a new direction. And with his moving in a new direction, he said he had been clean for about 3 years, which is wonderful. But he also said, you know what's interesting? They believe me when I was doing all these addictions, but they don't seem to accept or believe me when I say I'm clean. Well, I would say, you're going to get that. You have haters. Haters don't have anything to say when you're down and out in Beverly Hills, you're stretched out on the sidewalk. They'll walk over you and then talk about you. But when you start moving in a new direction and start doing something good for you, well, these haters start raising their ugly heads. And now they have so much to say to you. Don't worry, because you must be doing something good, and that's why they're talking about you. See, haters don't waste their time talking about you when you're down and out in Beverly Hills. But now that you're going in this new direction, they are hating on you. Let it fuel you and keep moving. So now you've done those things. I just want you to keep this statement in mind. I choose to go in a new direction and let go of the past. Whenever you question if you can do it, just say that statement. And once you do that, now you're ready to get out that pad and pencil and write out your New Year's resolution and move in a new direction. And Happy New Year. And I wish you the best. I'm Donna Smith, and this is Sound Advice.